The original Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, not to be confused with other movies of similar titles. This is a great entry in the series, and it's one of my definite favorites as well. It was made in 1974, the 20th anniversary of Godzilla, so you know they weren't gonna mess this one up. The plot involves a prophecy being told about a giant monster being sent to destroy the world, but two other monsters will stand up and fight against it. The monster in question turns out to be Godzilla? What? Wasn't he being portrayed as a hero in the last couple of movies? How strange. Anyways, Godzilla shows up and starts wreaking havoc. He then stumbles across Anguirus, and the two have a pretty decent fight. It ends with Godzilla ripping Anguirus' jaw open, which is pretty gory. I always felt so bad for Anguirus here, and this would end up being his last scene he'd ever be in until Godzilla Final Wars. Poor little guy. What a way to go out. Also, during the fight, Anguirus scrapes off a piece of Godzilla's skin, and we see a shiny piece of metal underneath it. What? Anyways, Godzilla goes off and starts destroying a city. While doing so, he comes across Godzilla? What? That's right, this Godzilla was a fake all along, and the real Godzilla is just as confused as we are. So Godzilla breaks off more of the skin on the fake Godzilla until it finally reveals itself to be none other than Mechagodzilla, a robot adversary of Godzilla who's loaded with laser eyes and a lot of firepower that actually puts Godzilla out of commission for a good while. We then go back to focusing on the humans, who thankfully aren't too boring in this movie. It turns out Mechagodzilla was constructed by a group of space apes from outer space. Yep, space apes, who reveal their true form whenever harmed or killed. It's pretty bonkers. Later on, we see Godzilla again, but he keeps getting struck by lightning. Jeez, this just hasn't been his movie. Meanwhile, there's this special statue that the space apes were trying to go after, but it's used to break apart a mountain that's containing the third monster in the movie, King Caesar, who is a sleepy boy. It turns out he has to be sung to be woken up, which one of the main characters does for him. This song lasts about 4 minutes, as opposed to what other people claim it lasts for. It's nowhere near as long as James Rolfe made it out to be. Trust me. After being sung to, King Caesar wakes up to a massive explosion. Epic. Then King Caesar goes to fight Mechagodzilla, which doesn't end super well. But luck has it, Godzilla returns to join the battle, and the true monster rumble occurs. This final battle is entertaining as hell. It shows off a lot of Mechagodzilla's firepower as he unloads all sorts of missiles and bombs on Godzilla and King Caesar, but the two continue fighting on to defeat Mechagodzilla. Mechagodzilla then creates a force field that burns Godzilla's hands. He really doesn't get it too easy in this fight. It reaches a point where Mechagodzilla causes Godzilla to start bleeding profusely. Jesus Christ. Then he gets a bunch of missiles stabbed into him. God, it's so violent. I love it. Then, after all of that, Godzilla does a complete U-turn and turns himself into a super magnet. How? Why? Who knows? Who cares? He makes Mechagodzilla get stuck to him, and Godzilla lets King Caesar take a few hits on him. I love seeing the heroes win. Then Godzilla twists Mechagodzilla's head off, and it ends with a glorious explosion. Also, the space apes get defeated as well. Caesar goes back to bed, and Godzilla heads back to the ocean. Yay, happy ending. Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla is a spectacular movie. It has an entertaining human story with great pacing and a lot of fun monster fights throughout. It may get a bit gory for some, but I just found this movie so enjoyable to watch. The soundtrack is absolutely outlandish, but it completely fits the movie so well. This is one of the crazier Godzilla movies, but that's what makes it so great. I recommend checking this one out. It's a bomb, and it was followed by a direct sequel afterwards, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.